Last one I got is Mickey 17. Once again, that is Bong Joon Ho, another South Korean, famous director, Parasite, obviously. Made a lot of movies that have been really successful, the definite cult hits, a lot of them. This one stars Robert Pattinson as Mickey 17 and Mickey 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Stephen Yeun as his friend, and who else? Mark Ruffalo as a Trump-esque figure, and Toni Collette as his wife, the Trump-esque figure's wife, not Pattinson's wife. Pattinson's Mickey 17. So this, if you're gonna like this movie or not like this movie, I think it is much better to think of movies like Oakjaw and Snowpiercer. And if you like the kind of weird combination in those movies of really on the nose social satire, almost cartoonishly on the nose satire, as well as kind of sci-fi, somewhat dystopian worlds that are really creative, but also have a lot of like social moralizing. You've got to enjoy that weird combo that Bong Joon-ho likes to throw into some of his movies. And as I say once again, Oakjaw to me, as well as Snowpiercer, are the best comparisons of his other movies. Those kind of mixes of kind of thematics. If you like those, I think Mickey 17 will work for you as well. If you're somebody who really hates it when you have this very overt, Trumpy sort of character being lampooned in the middle of a movie, in the middle of your sci-fi movie, then you could be turned off entirely by this movie just by that aspect. For me, it was somewhat distracting, but also it was goofy in such a way and so over the top that it almost became its own weird thing, and I could ignore the Trumpy comparisons and just enjoy it as a buffoonish, authoritarian like failure guy going into space to run his own cult essentially. And if once you get into it, if you get into it in that aspect, I think you're going to enjoy it a lot more. Overall, I did enjoy this movie. I think the basic conceit of this movie is pretty fantastic, and that is that this Mickey guy, Mickey 17, he's a total loser on Earth, and him and the Stephen Yeun character are essentially on the run from a loan shark because they had a loan for a business, it failed, and this loan shark is very cruel. And they know that they're marked for a very painful death, so that they are going to escape on this flight to another planet. It's like a Earth is terrible, so they're going to take this failed politician, the Mark Ruffalo character's failed politician has his own kind of like a commune slash cult slash, you know, rocket ship full of people that are going to all go off to another planet and start inhabiting and populating it with his own like perfect society. And he needs people to come along. The problem is Mickey wouldn't be good enough to be on that flight. But the reason Mickey gets on the flight is because he signs up as an expendable, and almost by accident. And Mickey doesn't know what that means at first, and the person that's giving it to him says, "You know what that means?" And he's no. He was like, "Well, that means they can basically just you can just get killed and they'll just reproduce you. And you're okay with that?" And he's a real not a very smart guy. He's like, "Sure, that sounds great. Am I going to get on the ship? Okay, let's do this." So he does it. And then of course the way they use him is just as a almost like movies that kind of use androids or robots as a way to talk about kind of the socially downtrodden and the way we dehumanize certain groups of people. Well, Mickey 17 is basically that, because say they want to find out the effect of a virus that they might encounter, well, they'll just give it to Mickey 17, and when he dies, they'll reprint Mickey 2 or Mickey 3 once he dies. And you have a little montage of all the various horrible ways they mistreat and abuse and kill the various Mickeys leading up to Mickey 17. And then the rest of the movie is basically his experience on this planet and the problems that occur when he's supposed to die and doesn't. And I'll just leave it at that because it's fun to see the weird variations of what happens when the whole Mickey expendable experience goes awry in that world. And I guess world, it would be the key with this. I think what you enjoy or don't enjoy about these sorts of Bong Joon-ho movies is the worlds he creates. And I enjoy the level of creativity. For me, these kind of futuristic worlds where they're really fully realized and very much feel like the imagination of the particular director. Like you're not living in just another Star Wars kind of universe. You're living in a very unique Bong Joon-ho universe. to me, I really like those. In the same way that you really like something like, oh my gosh, my brain has lost it. Anytime you get a director who really can create their kind of own interesting, very intricate, fully fleshed out personal visions on screen, I think that to me, that's much more fun and interesting and exciting to watch than just another cookie cutter, say, I don't know, Marvel movie or something. Those don't really go as well for me. So I quite enjoyed it. It definitely is uneven in places, but I think overall the experience is quite odd and fun. And like I said, if you can get by the big hurdle, and I think the biggest hurdle for people are going to be the wide swings in styles, from comedy to social satire to trying to be really have high pathos to just goofy. If you can go get past that, and if you can get past the really obvious Trump satire stuff, then you could have a lot of fun with this. If you can't get by that, you're going to probably think it's one of the worst movies you've seen this year. So be warned. You might hate this movie. I think I would say if you hate this movie in the first 20 to 30 minutes, you're not going to like it anymore by the end. If you're on board, go for it.